Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitabugHandmades.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm so excited to announce the second feature of August Club Quitabug. I will be spotlighting the Tropical Chic bundle. I love this bundle, you guys, and when you purchase the bundle in my online Stampin' Up store, you save 10%. So you get the stamp set as well as the coordinating thinlet dies that go along with the stamp set. I love this set, you guys, and I think you're gonna really enjoy the free card kit that I have to go along with it. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. I'll show you the projects that we're gonna create, and I'll give you all the details about Club Quitabug as we go. All right, so here is a close-up of that Tropical Chic bundle. I just love this bundle, you guys. I can't get enough of it. So here's the stamp set, and we're actually using every image in the stamp set except for one, so I almost worked them all in. And then here are the thinlet dies, so you will need a Big Shot or some sort of manual die cutting machine to complete the projects. And then I'll also be using Memento Tuxedo Black ink, Shaded Spruce, and Blushing Bride. And then I've also got a few other supplies. I'm gonna use dimensionals, my snail adhesive, and paper snips. And all you have to do to receive your free Tropical Chic card kit in the mail from me is simply place a minimum $40 order in my online Stampin' Up! Store. That's $40 before tax and shipping. You can purchase whatever you'd like. You don't have to even get any of these supplies if you don't want to. You can get whatever you'd like. That's the beauty of Club Quitabug. So purchase $40 or more in my online Stampin' Up! Store. Make sure that you use the host code that I've got right here on the screen. Using that code lets me know that you're wanting to receive this free card kit in the mail from me. Just don't use that code if your order is $150 or more, because you will earn Stampin' rewards and still qualify to receive this free card kit in the mail from me. And during the month of August, I recommend giving your order a little boost and bumping it up to $50 so that in addition to receiving this free card kit in the mail from me, you'll also receive a $5 coupon code in your email from Stampin' Up! That you can redeem during the month of September. So when you receive your free card kit in the mail from me, it will come nice and neatly packaged with all of the consumable supplies that you need to create one of each of the 3 projects included. And then there are also envelopes included for your cards, and there is a full color PDF at the back that has a picture of each of the cards or projects in the kit, as well as the measurement and a full supply list in case you ever want to make more of these projects in the future. So here are the 3 projects that we're gonna make. I love these cards, you guys. I love them. So here's the first one. It's a thank you card. So clean. I love it. Love these colors together. Love it. Here's the second card with much love and thanks. Isn't that so pretty? And then here is the third card. You are the greatest. Lots of layering on this card. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, and I'll share with you how to create all 3 of the projects. All right, so I've got my supplies here for card number 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this piece of Blushing Bride, and I wanna go ahead and just get my stamping done. So I've got my Memento Tuxedo Black here, and I've got my thank you sentiment already mounted. So I'm just going to ink this up, just kind of twist it and tap it to be sure that it's nice and inked up. And then I want to stamp this in the center. So right about here should be good. And I'm just gonna press and hold. Since I'm stamping on colored cardstock, I found that the ink needs a little bit more time to set in. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're actually gonna have to do a little bit of Big Shot work. So I have got my magnetic platform here. I'm gonna lay down 1 cutting plate, and then you've got a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock in your kit. So you wanna take that piece of cardstock, and then we're gonna take this little die right here, and we're gonna run this through 2 times. So we wanna cut 2 of these out. So I'm just gonna lay that down, put another cutting plate on top, and I'm just gonna run that through my Big Shot. So just using my paper piercer, and I'm just popping this die cut right out of there, and then I'm going to run this through 1 more time since we need 2 of these. All right, so I've got both of those die cut out, and you want to save this piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock because we're going to use it a couple more times. So now we can actually start assembling this card. So I'm going to go ahead and give my card base a crease. This is a standard sized card base, and this is a Whisper White thick cardstock. I'm going to take this piece of Tropical Chic Designer Series paper, and you've got some of our Pick a Pattern washi tape here. So I'm going to stick this washi on. I've just got it adhered to a one of our clear envelopes. So I'm just going to take this, unroll it. Once I peel it off, unroll it. See, I'm going to turn my designer paper this direction. And I just want to add this one towards the bottom. Oh, I guess about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. So I'll put it right about there. Okay. Then I'm going to take this piece of washi, peel it off here. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to adhere this piece right above that thin black striped piece. So right there. I'll just press that down. Okay. And then I'm going to pick this up, and I'm actually just going to wrap the washi around the back of this layer. That way I know that it's nice and secured onto my designer paper. Just folding it over. Excuse my dog who's downstairs barking. No idea what he's barking at. And now I'm just adding some snail adhesive onto the back of this, and I'm going to add this layer onto my piece of shaded spruce cardstock. Now I'm going to bring in my tear and tape. I'm going to use this to adhere my piece of ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead, and I want to fold my ribbon over just like that, and to get it to stick, I am going to just put a little piece of tear and tape down. You don't need much. Just going to take a little piece, put it down, peel up the backing, and then just fold that over. So just like that, that looks good. Then I'm going to put another piece on the back so that I can adhere this little bit of ribbon onto my layer here. Peel off the backing again. Okay. And actually, before I adhere this down, I'm just going to trim this down. So I want to angle the ends of my ribbon. So I'm just going to snip and then snip again. And I just snip that bottom piece a little bit shorter than the top. And then I'm just going to adhere it down just above the striped piece of washi. And I also want it to hang over this layer just a little bit as well. So you see how it's hanging off? And then just press it down. Perfect. Then I'll just add a little bit of snail here and here on my sentiment. And then I'm gonna put this little leafy guy right there. And then I'll put this one right here. Okay, flip that over, add a few dimensionals on the back. That'll also help keep our leafy pieces in place as well. Okay, and then I'll just add this right on to this layer. Let's see, I want it over just a little bit. I think I want it right about there. Make sure it's straight. Yep, and I'll give it a press. All right, and so I just added some dimensionals onto the back of this layer, and we can just pop this onto the front of the card, and I'm going to put this in the center towards the top. So let's see, right about here. Yep, that looks good. So I'm gonna give it a press. And there we go. That finishes up card number 1. Isn't that fun? I love this card. All right, so now I've got my pieces here for card number 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out this piece of designer paper and then this piece of Whisper White. So we're gonna get our stamping done. So I'm gonna bring in my Memento ink, and then I've got my sentiment that says, "With much love and thanks." I think I'm actually going to put the ink to the stamp. So I'm just gonna add my ink. Okay, I think that's good. And then going to stamp my sentiment right onto this strip of designer paper. And I want to stamp it off to the right. Okay, so right there. Hopefully I got that straight. I feel like I didn't. Oh, okay, that's actually really good. Okay, so there's that. And now on my piece of Whisper White, I'm gonna bring in my Blushing Bride, and I'm gonna stamp 2 of my little flower images. So I'll just do 1 there, and then another one here. And then I'm gonna bring in Shaded Spruce, and I'm gonna stamp the large, reminds me of like an elephant ear leaf. I think that's what they're called. I'm gonna stamp that right here. Perfect. All right, so I've got my magnetic platform again, 1 cutting pad, and then I've gone ahead and layered on these 2 dies to cut out my stamped images. And I'm gonna have to run it through again to cut out this flower right there. And then I'm gonna bring in this piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock, and I am going to put this die in the center towards the top of this piece of Granny Apple Green. So I'm gonna put it right about there, put another cutting pad on top, and then I'm gonna run this through my Big Shot. Okay, so once you've run this through your Big Shot, you're gonna have this piece that looks like, let's see if I can get that piece out, that looks like this. Isn't that fun? I love that. And then we've got our die around our flower to cut out that last flower. And then you want to bring in this image again, and we're going to cut out 2 of this leaf image in this piece of basic black. All right, so now that we've got all those pieces cut out, you want to save this piece of Whisper White because we're going to use it again for card number 3. So again, we've got a piece of Whisper White thick for our card base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of the Tropical Chic Designer Series paper, and you could use whichever side you want really. I'm going to use this white with the black polka dots, and I'm going to put this right behind my little die cut leafy window here, and I'm just going to flip that over, and I'm going to adhere this with dimensionals. Just pop 1 dimensional on each corner of that designer paper, and that'll hold that in place and give this layer some support. All right, got my backings off, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this onto the front of my card right in the center. Okay, so now I'm going to take these 2 leafy images that we die cut in the basic black, and I want those to go right about, well, I guess I want those to go right about here on the front of my card. So I'm just going to pick these up, and I'm going to add some snail adhesive right about here, and all that's going to get covered up so you won't see any of that. And I just want to make sure these leaves don't hang over the edge of the card, so I'll put those there. Then I want my Blushing Bride flowers. Let's see where I want those. I want those right about here because my sentiment is going to come across. I just want those flowers to peek through the top. So yep, I think right about there looks good for the flowers. So I'm just going to take these, flip them over, and just add some snail adhesive to the back of those. Pop those right about here. Okay, and then I want this big leaf right about here, I think. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure that middle piece is covered. Yeah, I think that looks good. So we'll put this guy down. Right about there. And then I'm gonna pop my sentiment up. Now you don't have to use as many popped up layers as I am. If you wanna lay some of these other layers flat, you most certainly can. I just like a lot of dimension, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this up, and I think I'm only putting these 2 dimensionals on the right since all these flowers kind of are pretty thick and dimensional already. I don't think I need a dimensional on the left. Let me see. I'm actually going to go ahead and get a dimensional in there. There we go. Put one there anyways, okay? So now I'm gonna take my linen thread, and I've got one of the little Tropical Chic embellishments, and I'm just going to string my thread through the little holes of this flower button. Okay, got that through. Then I've got my glue dots here. Just gonna add a couple of glue dots on the back of this and set that button down, and that's actually going to help give a nice anchor as well so that I can tie my thread in a bow. Okay, so just pull the tails to get the ears of your bow how you want them. I think that looks pretty good. Just bring in my scissors and trim that down just a little bit. There we go. All right, that finishes up card number 2. Isn't that such a fun card? Love it. All right, so I've got my supplies here for card number 3. I'm gonna go ahead and bring in a piece of scratch paper. We're gonna be doing some background stamping. I love background stamping. So I've got my piece of Blushing Bride cardstock. We're gonna do some tone-on-tone stamping, so Blushing Bride ink on Blushing Bride cardstock. We're gonna start with this sort of washi tape looking image, and we wanna just stamp this all along the bottom edge of our cardstock. So I'm just going to get it right up to the edge. I'm going to try to keep it straight as possible. And it fits 3 times. Okay, so just like that. Then I'm going to bring in this little leaf image, and we are going to continue stamping a background, and we're going to stamp this image and fill up the rest of the space. So I'm going to try to keep this random and just rotate, well, my version of random. I'm just going to rotate the image around and just repeatedly stamp it. And just change up the direction each time as I go. You're not even going to see all of this. A lot of this is going to be covered, but all right, so I have built my background, and I love it. And a lot of this is going to be covered up, so you can see where I overlapped these two right here. That's okay, you won't even see these two images. But there's our background. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this little strip of Whisper White ribbon here. This is, I think, Whisper White sheer ribbon. And I am going to wrap this around, and this is gonna divide our two background stamped images. Okay, so I just wrapped that ribbon around and I adhered it with some tear and tape. So now I'm going to take this little piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to bring in my banner triple punch, and I am just going to banner the end, one end of this Whisper White piece, and this is going to be for our sentiment. So I've got my Memento Tuxedo Black, and then I've got that sentiment, "You are the greatest." Just going to ink this up. Okay, and I'm gonna stamp this, towards the left. Make sure this is straight. Not all the way to the banner, but about right here. And I'm gonna press and hold. There we go, so there's our sentiment. Then I've got that piece of Whisper White, and I've got my Blushing Bride, got my shaded spruce here, and we're going to do a little bit more stamping. So I'm going to stamp this image right here, this leaf image, ink that up in the shaded spruce. Let's see, I'll do one of those here. Okay, stamp it again here. And then I want one more of those little Blushing Bride flowers. Let me do that again. I think I need to re-ink this Blushing Bride. Okay, that's better. All right, so now I'm gonna run this through my Big Shot. So I am going to take this die right here and die cut these leaves, and then I am going to take this image right here and cut out two more of the Granny Apple Green, and then this little die right here to cut out my Blushing Bride flowers. All right, so I have gotten all of those pieces cut out, so we can go ahead and start assembling this card. Okay, so another Whisper White thick card base, and I'm going to go ahead and add this layer on to my front of the card. All right, so I've got that on there. So before I add this piece of designer series paper from the Tropical Chic 6x6 designer series paper stack, I'm gonna go ahead and lay my leaves down. So let's see, I want this one to go right about there. I just don't want them to go beyond the front of the card. So I'll just go ahead and add this one, add an angle right about there. I'll add this one, add an angle right about there. Then I'll go ahead and put this one on. And same thing, put this one on. Okay. Then I am going to add this layer on dimensionals, but first I'm gonna bring in some tear and tape, just a little strip. I'm gonna adhere my ribbon down. So let's see, I guess I'll put the ribbon, right about here. Put my tear and tape down. Okay, peel off the backing. Just gonna go ahead and angle my ribbon just like that, and I want it to go right on top of that piece of tear and tape Let me scoot it back some. Okay, right there. And then I'll just trim off the extra, just like so. All right, so I just added some dimensionals to the back of this layer. I'm gonna go ahead and add this onto the front, and I'm just going to line this designer paper up with the top of my Whisper White ribbon and the right side of my Blushing Bride cardstock. So right about there. Isn't that so cute? I love it. Okay, so now we can take our sentiment and we're just going to adhere that just slightly above the ribbon. And I'll do that by adding some dimensionals on the back. So again, if this is too much dimension for you, you don't have to use this much. I like a lot of layers on my cards with dimension. Okay, so we'll just pop that right there. And then a dimensional on the back of our little flower as well. And then we'll just pop that right here on the right hand corner. I'll put it right there. There we go. All right, so that finishes up card number 3. I love it. I love, love, love this card. So pretty. And you'll get one of 2 patterns. So you can see this one has a larger pattern. This one has a smaller pattern on the designer paper. So you'll get one of these 2 patterns in your card kit, but they both look great on this card. I love it. All right, so that finishes the 3 projects in my Tropical Chic free card kit. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this card kit. I love these projects. I love the Tropical Chic bundle. I love the Tropical Chic suite. I just love all of these products. They're amazing. I had so much fun creating these cards. So I hope that you have enjoyed, and remember, all you have to do to receive your free card kit in the mail from me is simply place a minimum $40 order before tax and shipping in my online Stampin' Up! Store. Be sure that you use the host code right here that I've got here on the screen. Using that code lets me know that you're wanting to receive this free card kit in the mail from me. Just don't use that code if your order is $150 or more, because you will earn Stampin' rewards and you will still qualify to receive this kit in the mail from me. And this kit is only available from August 16th through August 31st. After August 31st, it is no longer available. So you do have to get your order in during that window of time. And then don't forget, during the month of August, you might as well give your order a boost up to $50 so that you can not only earn this free card kit in the mail from me, but you can also earn a $5 coupon code from Stampin' Up! That you can redeem during the month of September. So thanks again for joining me today, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will be back soon with another tutorial. Bye now.